Hey, Steve Yanni here at High Octane Classics in Auburn, Massachusetts with another muscle car crawl. A lot of snow on the ground, junkyards are frozen right now, so let's check out this 1988 Ford Mustang GT. It's got the 5.0, 225 horsepower, but more importantly, this thing has radio delete. Here we see a button for a $206 credit. You could actually buy your Mustang without a radio. But getting back to this engine for a second, keep in mind that in 1988, 211,225 Mustangs were built, of which about half were V8 powered. And unlike Camaro, well, only 96,000 cars were built in 1988. About a third of them were V8 powered, the rest were V6 cars. When it comes to the Mustang, all V8 Mustangs were high output cars. So that's like 100,000 1988 Mustang GTs and LXs with 225 horsepower. And these are the cars that kept America power shifting. But with that said, radio delete, very weird. Okay, I'm gonna open the door. We're gonna look inside and discover a couple of really cool things. In the center, we'll see where the radio head would go. Nothing. That's the factory plate that was installed at the Dearborn plant when the radio was deleted. But here's the crazy part. Look here. This is the speaker hole for the passenger side. There's a speaker. That's the bass speaker, the woofer right there. On the driver's side, I checked it out, and there is also a speaker there. I'm going to go to the other side. Cameraman, you watch through here. Now, these cars have like 5 speakers, front, back, center. And right here, we can see at the back, there's speakers here too. So when you got that $206 credit for radio delete on your Mustang, Ford apparently says, you know what, let's not bother the guys on the assembly line to remove or delete the speakers or the wiring. Now, if you ask me, the real cost of a radio system or stereo is the head unit, the CD player, the AM, FM, whatever that is. That's probably, you know, maybe $100 cost, whereas speakers might be $3 or $4 a piece. So Ford probably said, hey, you know what, let's not disrupt the assembly line by having a special radio delete harness with 3 feet less copper wire, and let's not tell the guys not to put the speakers in. Let's not derail the process. So radio delete Mustangs, at least in 1988, came with speakers. Now the other side of that could well be that Ford said, you know, these guys might want to later install a stereo at the dealer level. Let's make it easy. So pull the plate off the front, put the radio in, the speakers are already there. But come around the side here, another thing this Mustang has that's pretty cool is the optional axle ratio. Now, the great thing about the 5-liter Mustang, the HO package, was you got standard traction lock, the 8.8-inch rear axle, big, strong piece, 30 spline axles, I think 28 spline, tough stuff, not gonna break them with a 5.0. But this one here, we see on the axle code, the letter Z. That means instead of the 273 stock ratio, this has the 308 axle ratio. That was a no charge extra item. So this one has the 308 5-speed stick, probably a mid 14-second car out of the box. Now keep in mind, the best axle ratio, if you're a junkyard crawler like me, is you find a 5-liter convertible with an automatic. That has a 327 axle ratio, which bolts right in. But here's one thing in final I want to show. This is Al Kirschenbaum's book. It's all about the Mustang 5.0. This book will tell you anything you want to know from 1979 through 93 about the Fox Mustang. I mean, everything. Lifter types, radio deletes, blocks, engines, year by year, the Cobra R, sales figures. Fantastic book. It's out of print, but Robert Bentley Publishers makes this book. Try to get a copy if you can. If you own a Fox, you need this book. Well, that's the story of the radio delete Fox Mustang. They had speakers from the factory, at least in 1988. So you learn something every day by looking a little closer. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to the Steve Yanni YouTube channel. Remember, silence is golden.